Hey fellow expeditionists, we are currently on a road trip going through North Dakota, and we've already seen some interesting roadside attractions. There was the world's largest buffalo in Jamestown, and there was the world's largest cow statue in New Salem, but now we're at a really unique one here on the Enchanted Highway. The Enchanted Highway is located in western North Dakota, with its northern entrance just off of Interstate 94 at exit 72. The highway and its massive sculptures extend south for 32 miles to the town of Regent, North Dakota. This sculpture is titled Geese In Flight and currently holds the Guinness World Record for largest scrap metal sculpture. This is the sculpture that first welcomes visitors off of the interstate, and while impressive, it actually pales in comparison to those further down the road. So the very first sculpture here on the Enchanted Highway is Geese In Flight. All of these were made with scrap metal by one man from the town of Regent, North Dakota. The Enchanted Highway is the passion project of Gary Greff, who in 1989 recognized that his small town of Regent, North Dakota was dying and needed something to pull people off of the interstate to his community. Gary was a teacher by trade, but local ranchers taught him how to weld, and from there, it was just a matter of gathering enough scrap metal to make it happen. The next sculpture is titled Deer Crossing, for obvious reasons. What the design lacks in details, it more than makes up for in sheer size. Each one of these large displays is set up like a small county park. It's really kind of cool. Right now, we're going to go through the Maze of Enchantment. Did he make the right choice? Is it left? Is it right? One way to find out. Gary gets about 90% of his scrap metal from old oil well tanks, where he simply flattens them out and then cuts them to whatever size is needed. Most of the sculptures take 4 to 5 years to complete. Here we have Grasshoppers in the field, one enormous bug and several smaller ones. This is where we really felt like the artistry of these scrap metal sculptures was truly starting to shine. These sculptures required some serious engineering. Fisherman's Dream features metal trout and bass leaping 70 feet high. This might be my favorite of all the sculptures along this highway. There is so much detail here, from individual fish and their scales, to the water plants, and even the dragonfly about to be eaten. So the Fisherman's Delight is probably my favorite so far. Not to mention having all those pigeons and cliff swallows all up there. Adding kind of almost feels like you would be out fishing, huh?
Yeah.
Pheasants on the Prairie. As amateur birders, we love this sculpture. Plus, it was kind of foreshadowing an experience we had later in the day when an actual pheasant crossed our path in the Little Missouri National Grassland. So we are very close to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park here in North Dakota. So it's very fitting that the artist here of the Enchanted Highway made one of his sculptures dedicated to Theodore Roosevelt. Here is Teddy Roosevelt Rides Again. Here we have the Tin Farm family. This is actually the very first sculpture that Gary Greff designed and built for the Enchanted Highway, completing it in 1991. Unfortunately, I didn't have updated information on all the sculptures on the Enchanted Highway, but we went ahead and drove into Regent just to see the Enchanted Castle Hotel. We passed right by the Enchanted Highway gift shop and a smaller sculpture there, but don't worry, we do come back to it. We arrived at the Enchanted Castle and were pleased to find an enormous knight fighting a dragon that we didn't even know about, titled Sir Albert and the Dragon. Apparently, it's not actually complete yet, as Gary's plan once finished is to have the dragon actually belch fire every hour. The castle itself is the old Regent High School, which Gary Greff bought and converted into a hotel and restaurant. I didn't go inside the hotel, but it is apparently fully decorated to match the medieval theme. Alright, we have made it to the end of the Enchanted Highway. We are here in Regent, North Dakota. Very small town, has that very much old prairie town feel to it still to this day. And behind me here we have the Enchanted Highway gift shop and the final display currently from the artist, the whirligigs. All right, that was our experience today here on the Enchanted Highway in Regent, North Dakota. About a 33 mile long one-way trek to see all of these cool sculptures. And I would totally go in to the Enchanted Highway gift shop to support them too if they were open. We're here really early Sunday morning. But Catfish, what are your thoughts? What are your favorite sculptures that we've seen today?
I really liked the fish, grasshopper, and pheasant statues. They were really cool.
Yeah, everything was really unique and cool, and I love how they made all of this stuff from scrap metal. And it takes years to do these things, and I have so much respect for the artist himself. Great job on all this stuff. I really love those. The fish was definitely my favorite overall, but they all were really interesting and unique. So if you ever get a chance and you're ever in the area here in North Dakota, it is worth checking out. All right, we're on to our next adventure. Till then,
Peace out.